Hi everyone, I played with Quan at Temple Sinai in the club game, and thank you, Quan, for the game. It was the first time we played together, and you played great. And a lot of the deals were sort of mundane, more boring deals that you'd see at the club where you kind of just sit there and wait for opponents to make mistakes. Let's go over some of the ones where we both had each had interesting decisions and just talk through them. I thought you played great, and I'm trying to do this now, showing big pictures of the deals and the auctions. So bear with me if my tech skills aren't the best, but here we go. This was actually our very first deal, and you held this hand, a very powerful hand, of course. 20 high card points, 5-5, aces, good suits. Obviously, you opened one heart. I responded one no trump, and you jump shifted, game forcing three clubs. And we hadn't discussed anything about this auction, so I assumed three clubs was natural. Some expert pairs now play that in these auctions, one major, one no trump. Three clubs is actually any game force. It could be 5-4s. In other suits, it could be a single suited hearts hand. And then that leaves three diamonds and three hearts as you're jump shifting as 5-5 at least. But we obviously hadn't discussed that, so three clubs is perfectly normal. I bid three diamonds, and we'll see my hand after. So the question is, what should you rebid over three diamonds? You chose four clubs, which is reasonable. Get your second suit across that it's a real suit and that you're two suited. I I don't know if I would bid four clubs or not. Sorry, I might try three spades over three diamonds, and there's a few reasons. Number one, my hand, your partner responded one no trump. You don't have a spade fit, so spades is never a playable strain. You're not going to get raised to four spades or passed in three spades. So you, three spades is just something in spades, and it's beginning to shape out a little bit. And the advantage of three spades is that it keeps the auction below three no trump. If your partner bids three no trump, you may pass that because they've heard you bid hearts, clubs, and now spades. They've got a picture of your hand. You may decide, however, that you're not going to pass three no trump. You're too strong and too shapely for that, and that's totally fine. Then over three no trump, you can bid four clubs. And I think that gets your hand across a little bit better, that hearts, clubs, a little bit of spades, and clubs. And that may allow your partner to better evaluate their hand, knowing which cards are working, which cards aren't, that you do have real clubs. And as it turns out, the best contract here on a double dummy basis was hearts. Actually, six clubs was best, but it's very hard to get there, and it's certainly not cold. But you ended up bidding four clubs. I bid four hearts, and we played there in a 5-2 fit. So three no trump is probably a little bit better, certainly at imps. And we'll take a look at the full deal. So there we have it. I normally, with my hand, the east hand, over a jump shift, I would just bid three hearts as kind of a, I don't know what to do. I'm showing two card support in your first suit, and you carry on from there. But I thought three diamonds is a little bit better. I did have queen 10 fifth. I'm not looking to play diamonds. I'm just trying to save a little bit of room so that if you bid three hearts or three spades, I would be able to either raise hearts or bid three no trump. So this was an interesting deal, and of course you made six because the queen jack third of hearts were on side, and you correctly took the finesse. So wonderful. That was the first, our very first deal together, and that was a fun one, interesting one. I thought our game was really well, and actually I thought our score would have been higher than it actually was. There were a couple of reasons why I think our score wasn't as good. Number one, I thought a lot of the stronger pairs were east-west, sitting the same direction as us. So it may have felt like we got a bunch of good boards, but the other east-west pairs were probably getting good boards as well. And our two worst scores, this was one of them. We passed this hand out, and I thought that was going to be good for us because we have no fit. I'm 4-5-1-3, and you're 3-1-5-4. We have no fit. If you opened the west hand in fourth chair, it would go a diamond, a heart, two clubs, and I would have to guess to pass that. I may not do that. I may bid two no trump, I'm not sure, or I may pass and you may get to scramble. Where we got unlucky on this deal, I think, is that North has a 12 count and nobody passes 12 counts in the world except for this particular North. So if he had opened a minor, I would have overcalled a heart. South probably would have passed and you would have gotten to bid a no trump. And we likely would have played a no trump and that would have been a nice comfy spot for us. So pairs our way were going plus, and so that's why we got a bad score on a pass out deal that I thought we did well to pass out. This was a fun one. Okay, this was actually my hand, and I'm going to show you the auction. My partner opened a strong no trump, and I bid 2 hearts transfer. So the first question was, what should my approach on this deal be? Should I even be transferring? Or should I be bidding Texas and then key carding? So the first question is, how good is this hand? And I don't know. I still don't know how I should approach bidding this one. I've been playing for decades and see hands like this all the time, and I still don't know the answer. So the first thing to recognize, number one, I've said it before, 6-4 hands are very powerful offensively. They're generally worth more than their point count suggests. And I know we have a spade fit. My partner is supposed to have at least 2 spades on this auction. If they have 3 or 4 spades, that's even much better because then I know we're probably not going to lose a spade trick. But this hand is 6-4, some tens, aces, kings. I had no idea how to bid this hand. The first thing to recognize is this hand is way too strong to just bid game without making any try. I can construct many, many hands where we can make a grand slam 7 without any finesses. And if that's the case, then we have to at least be trying for a small slam. How do I try for a small slam? I don't know. One approach, and generally the right approach with this particular hand type or shape, would be to transfer to spades and then splinter in diamonds to say, hey, I have 6 or more spades, shortness in diamonds. I'm interested in more than just game. Please evaluate your diamond holding, your other suits, your trumps, and we'll go from there. The problem is I don't like splintering with singleton aces because it does cause your partner to misevaluate. They're going to completely downgrade the king of diamonds. I don't want my partner to downgrade the king of diamonds. The king of diamonds is useful on this hand. It's a trick. It can be used to throw away a heart, for example. And I'm going to need a lot of stuff in clubs and hearts to have enough for slam. So I didn't know what approach I was going to take. I was probably just going to make a mild slam try by transferring and then jumping to 4 spades. But the auction took a turn. My left-hand opponent doubled the 2-heart transfer. And my partner passed. So there's a couple things going on here. Number one, my partner should not have 3 spades because they would have completed the transfer if that was the case. And number two, a heart lead does kind of look best for their side because it's likely that even if my partner has, say, the ace of hearts and the king of diamonds and the king queen of clubs and no fast way to get to his hand, I guess that's probably not enough points, but whatever, you get the point. They're going to knock out the ace of hearts and I'm not going to be able to get to his hand to take my pitch of the heart right away. So did I want to just bid game? Did I want to retransfer and have my partner declare the hand? So this was the whole key, I think. I thought this was interesting, and this isn't anything that you read in a bridge textbook or lessons or everything. It's just a puzzle that you need to be creative and think about what's going on. So I thought that this was the type of deal where, of course, for sure we have a game, but we could be making more tricks. And it's a type of deal where the defense is going to have to be fast, meaning they're going to have to develop and cash their tricks right away, or I'm just going to claim. I have a bunch of trumps and I'm going to set up wherever my partner's suit is and claim because my partner has a strong no trump. They have stuff everywhere. So what I decided was that the defense was going to be much more difficult if my hand was hidden. Because the whole key to this hand is they need to cash their tricks efficiently and properly. If I put this hand down as the dummy, they are going to see, okay, they've got solid trumps, and the most important point is that they're going to see that they have no tricks in diamonds because I have the singleton ace. So they are going to know exactly how to defend. They're going to lead a heart, obviously, because the opening leader's partner doubled 2 hearts. They're going to lead a heart, and they're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to cash exactly the right number of hearts, and then they're going to play clubs, and that's going to be the end of the hand, and we're probably going to make 5. So what I did was I decided there was no real big advantage for my partner to declare the hand and the lead come up to him, because even if he had, say, the king of hearts, the ace was marked onside by the double. So I decided to keep this hand hidden and just bid 4 spades myself. And my partner wasn't, maybe they would take it as a small slam try, whatever. They just passed, and you'll see what my partner's hand was. Interestingly, partner had 17 high card points, and with 17 and a good 5 card suit, you always upgrade out of 1 no trump into sort of the 18-19 category. But his hand was so bad outside of the club suit, queen, 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 jack. I don't mind 1 no trump at all. It keeps things easy. So this was totally fine. And look what happened though by keeping my hand, the long spade hand, hidden. The opening leader led the ace of hearts, and by the way, that's a real gamble, that doubling 2 hearts with ace king 4th only. It's really a match point type double to make sure you get a heart lead. If it goes redouble and they make 4 for, I don't even know what number that is, it's a big one, 1460 or something, then it's just a 0. It's match points. It's just 1 board. Whereas if your partner makes the wrong lead and gives up an over trick, that could also be a 0. So doubling 2 hearts is, while it may seem crazy with only 4 of them, it's not totally insane to make sure you get the heart lead into your ace king. But look what happened. The south hand led the ace of hearts, the dummy came down, and obviously I'm making all the tricks unless they cash their 2 hearts. North played the 9, and I didn't even ask what their carding was or anything like that. The 9 denies the 10, so I dropped the 10 because I want South to be unsure whether it's safe to cash another heart. And South shifted to a diamond, and then I claimed. So we got a great score for 4 spades, making 6. But I think the whole key to the deal was if I put my hand down as the dummy and they had led a heart. Now, North may lead their singleton club, but their partner would not be happy with them if they did that. If they lead a heart, it's going to be trivial for South to cash the ace king of hearts because they're looking at too little in the dummy. So that's just a little bit of thinking outside the box, that I think this hand is going to be much more difficult to defend and easier to make a defensive mistake if the shapely hand is hidden and they're not going to know how to cash out. They're going to have to guess. Whereas if my hand was the dummy, they're just going to play the ace king of hearts, play a club, and just sit back and wait for their tricks. This one was a fun one, and it's a deal where when the opponents are bidding a lot, you need to be thinking about what's going on, not just at the end of the auction, but during the auction as well. I'll show you the auction. It was a long auction. It should be this one here, and I couldn't even get the whole auction in one picture. So my right-hand opponent opened a diamond, and we were actually vulnerable. They were not. The vulnerability is wrong in this display. They opened a diamond, I passed, it went a heart on my left, and I was waiting for my partner to overcall some number of spades because I have none of them and the opponents aren't bidding spades. But then East bid 1 spade, so okay, great, wonderful, and West game forced with 2 clubs, and East bid 2 hearts. So now it looks like East's hand is 4-3-5-1 or 4-3-4-2. They basically have 4 spades and 3 hearts in the majors, almost for sure. And then they'll have 5 diamonds and 2 clubs, or 5 diamonds and 1 club, sorry, or vice versa, or 4 diamonds and 2 clubs. West now bid 4 no trump, which we'll see later was not a good bid, but they bid 4 no trump, which we assume is key card in hearts. East responded 5 spades. So now we've got to think a little bit about what's going on. If they're about to bid a slam, 6 hearts, for example, like let's say West has 5 hearts, they found a heart fit, he's blackwooding in hearts. My partner is on lead. We are going to want to say double if they bid 6 hearts. And the reason we are doubling is because double of a freely bid slam calls for an unusual lead. Usually that you're roughing something. Some people say that, oh, it's always dummy's first bid suit. Not necessarily. If you double no trump, like 3 no trump, yes. But in when they bid a suit slam, double just says Lightner double, lead something a little unusual because I'm probably roughing it. And I think my partner would have no trouble finding a spade lead because they're looking at a lot of them. Over 5 spades, however, West did not bid 6 hearts, they bid 6 spades. So now we have to think again. So the auction's at 6 spades. What is the distribution around the table? The opponents, what is their spade fit? It's almost certainly 4-4. If East had 5 spades, that means they would have had 6 diamonds, and they would not have bid 2 hearts at their third turn. If West had 5 spades, they would have had 6 hearts. That is remotely possible, but extremely unlikely. Even still, if that were the case, my partner would have 4 spades, and the deal may not play well for them, and my partner would lead a heart, and actually my partner wouldn't even have any hearts. So I think we would defeat the contract regardless. So they bid 6 spades, and I was ready, and I said double, because I know my partner has 5 spades, and I'm staring at an ace. They can't make this. They cannot make this. It's impossible. And even further, one thing when you're doubling their slam, like I was on lead, so this wasn't calling for an unusual lead, but if you double their slam, you got to make sure that they can't run to another slam that might make. So they could run to 6 no trump, but look at my hand. I have Jack 10 fourth of diamonds. I have a diamond stopper. So they have at most 3 diamond tricks. Spades are 4-4. They have at most 4 spade tricks. I have the ace of hearts. They can't have a million club tricks either. So 6 no trump is going to have no chance either. So pairs are going to get in trouble in spades, and they're going to go down. And so I doubled, and we did collect 300. We actually could have collected 500 if I had made a better lead, but I just led the ace of hearts. Just make sure there were no accidents and defeat the contract. I could have led a club, and I think we actually defeated a second trick, but 300 obviously was a complete top. And later the declarer asked, how did you double us? Why did you double? I'm like, well, I kind of knew you were going down. That's why I doubled. But notice South's bid over a diamond, a heart, a spade. South they have 16 points and 4-card spade fit, and king, queen, third of diamonds, a pretty good hand. And they're too strong to just jump to 4 spades because their partner, by rebidding 1 spade, their partner could still have up to 17 or 18 points. So they could still have a slam. So their approach, the South hand, is to bid 2 clubs, game forcing. Then over 2 hearts, they should simply bid 2 spades. Go slower. They have already forced to game. So go slower. Don't launch into Blackwood when you have no idea what your partner has. You'll bid 2 spades, and your partner will probably bid... they have a pile of junk. They have 12 points only with some queens. They'll probably just jump to 4 spades, and that will slow you down and shut you up. Your partner has a minimum opener with 4 spades, and that's it. You're not going to bid a slam. So they would have stayed in 4 spades, and they would have made it. Next one. Quan, held this hand, and the auction was pretty good. It was everybody vulnerable. Your partner opened a diamond, and they overcalled 1 spade on your right. Everybody was vulnerable. I like your choice here. You decided to go for penalties, and there are a couple of reasons that this ended up working well. I think I like the choice. Number 1, you had shortness in my suit. Okay. Number 2, you only had 10 high card points. So if I had a minimum balanced hand, we were not going to make a game. And you were pretty sure that we were defeating 1 spade, doubled, and they were vulnerable. So if we don't have a game, even beating it 1 trick is enough. Your spade spots were not amazing, but still pretty attractive. The 9 and even the 6-5 combination could be good, because if you declare queen, jack, 10, 7 little or something like that, your 9 could certainly grow up, and the 6 could actually grow up as well, especially if you get me in to play diamonds through for you. And the other thing is we could have a heart fit, but your hearts are terrible, 4 little, and trumps may break badly, especially with the opponent's bidding. So I like your choice. You passed, I doubled, and you it went pass, 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 and we look at the full hand. We defended this basically perfectly. You got off to the. I mean, if you notice, we can make 4 spades, right? We held her to 3 tricks for 800. Sorry, no, I think she took. Well, she was down 3. We got 800. I think they were vulnerable. Yeah, we got 800. It says we can actually get her an extra trick. So you led the king of diamonds, which I think you were a little upset about because obviously that gave up a diamond trick, but it ended up setting the stage for me to just keep playing high diamonds through declare, setting up your spade trick. You got to you ended up roughing her club winner at the end. One other tiny note: you led the king of diamonds. Declare won the ace and played a diamond right back because she didn't really know what to do. Is that what happened? Yeah, I think that's what happened. And I can't remember what she did after that. But the first time you got in, which I think was with a spade, a spade to the queen and ace or something like that, you played the 10 of clubs. You had to guess which suit to switch to, and I tried to help you a little bit, but obviously I had ace, king, queen in both side suits, so I didn't care. You played the 10 of clubs and it went low. I just wanted to make your life easy, so I overtook with the queen, and I played the queen of hearts. And that held the trick. Declare played low. So I just wanted to let you know I have both suits completely covered, and then I just played high diamonds through declare, just so there were no accidents. We cashed out efficiently. It says we could get another trick, but I'm not sure how we do that. Probably it may have actually been a different lead. If you lead a banana and then I put a diamond through, we may do a trick better. I'm not sure. I guess we'll get 6 side tricks, and the king of diamonds is 7, and then you'll sit back for 3 spade tricks is 10 tricks for us. Yeah, I hold her to 3, but no worries. All good. Totally normal lead, king of diamonds. This was another one of our terrible scores. You opened this. I held this hand. You opened 1 spade. We were not vulnerable. Match points, not vulnerable. You opened 1 spade. I bid 1 no trump with this 11 count, and you rebid 2 spades. So what would you guys do? Would you bid 3 no trump, 2 no trump? I bid what I thought was a clear bid. I passed. And I will argue with anybody if they think that I should not have passed. I think at match points, when you're not vulnerable, your partner's opened 1 spade and 2 spades, they will preempt aggressively, they will open aggressively. This is a clear pass, I think. Anyway, you had queen 10 6 the spades and you made exactly 2, and I thought this was going to be a phenomenal score because people would get too high. It turns out everything sits favorably. Suits are breaking perfectly. The defenders are end played all the time. The finesses are on side, and we can make a part score, no trump, whatever, and people were going plus more in our direction. But I will stand by my pass. I think it's clear. We have 11 opposite 11 and no fit, and I'm very happy that I passed, even though we got a terrible score on it. This was one of the last deals, and you had a tough call on this one. This was your hand. A fairly strong 1 heart opener, but the pesky opponents overcalled 3 diamonds, and I said double, and I can't remember what the vulnerability was. I think it was nobody vulnerable. You had a rebid problem over 3 diamonds doubled. Your choices are 3 hearts. You could bid 4 hearts, maybe a little bit much. You could pass, but I don't like that with queen third of trumps and a 6th heart. That's both of those features are kind of negative defensively. I think mainstream, most people would probably just bid 3 hearts, which I don't think it's forcing. Some people may argue that when you make a negative double at the 3 level, you're forced to game. I don't buy that. Obviously, if you double 3 spades or 3 hearts, then of course you're forcing your side to game. But I think over this auction, or a spade 3 diamonds, or a spade 3 clubs, or a heart 3 clubs, I think you can still pass at the 3 level. You chose to bid 3 no trump, reasonable shot as any, and you ended up buying perfectly because I had the singleton ace of diamonds for you and the queen of hearts. So you just whipped off 9 tricks. Turns out 4 hearts is also a make, but it's not clear that we're going to get there. Like, we only have 23 high card points, and it's not even clear you're going to make it because you have 2 losing diamonds to deal with that you have to rough in the dummy, and the opponents can then play 3 rounds of clubs and potentially even make you guess and set up the 10 of hearts. So there's lots of guesswork to be done. I'm I was thrilled when you bid 3 no trump. I had no problem with that at all. And my hand, I stretched a little bit, of course, to make a negative double, but the hand with shortness in the opponent's preempting suit has to be the aggressive one and take action, right? If you only had a 5th heart and and the same hand, you would just pass out 3 diamonds and we would lose our plus. We would just defend 3 diamonds and they'd probably make it, or maybe down 1. Who knows? All right, so that was our game, and we ended up. There it is. We ended up first place overall. Hooray! And 63 and change. So I actually thought it was like high 60s, but we did have those two deals that scored terribly. The pass out was whatever, and then 2 spades. I do not bid. You have a void in partners major that they've rebid, and 10 points, 11 points, you just pass and just hope to make it. You're just going to get into trouble. And notice if Quan, if you were 6-4, of course, and a decent hand, you would have rebid your 4-card suit at your second turn, and then I would have aggressively raised, obviously, and then we would have been able to get to our game. But 1 major, 1 no trump, 2 major, that's the minimum 6-card suit. All right, that's it. Just under half an hour. So thanks again, Quan. One other tiny thing. I don't really have any suggestions. I mean, you played great. The system that you were playing and different treatments that you were playing are great. Sort of very expert, progressive type stuff, like over 1 no trump opening. We played 2 no trump as puppet stamen, so the opponents can't double. You played switches when the opponents overcall 1 spade. After we've opened a minor, you switch 2 hearts and 2 of the other minor, which I also love. I've played that one before. So these are very European ideas to keep auctions more efficient. The only tiny thing, honestly, is not even like bridge decision related. It's more, we all had this when we were your age, youthful energy. And at the table, it's as your partner, it was very easy to know when you had a problem and kind of what the problem was when we were defending or declaring, you were declaring. So just at the club, it's whatever, nobody's going to notice or pick up on it. But as you get to and play in like world championships against really good players, junior championships, really good players are going to pick up on everything, all your mannerisms and tempos and everything. And they're going to really pick up, oh, okay, I know he's got a problem with this. He must have, the only way he'd be thinking and sweating and fidgeting is if he had this problem. So just be a little bit aware of that, especially when you go on and play in the bigger events at the club, whatever. But just be aware of it. Be self-aware that kind of you are doing those things. And I mean, I pick up on that stuff, obviously, and as your partner, of course, I'm not going to take advantage of that info that I'm going to have or anything like that. But just be aware that the opponents, really good opponents, will pick up on all of that stuff. So if you're in a great contract, terrible contract, if you have big problem, little problem, just stay calm and think it through, and then make your play. All right. Thanks again for the game, and we'll definitely play again. And Nina and Rudy, shout out to them as well. They were just behind us. I think they were 4th place or 5th place in our direction. So well done to them. And we'll see everyone soon. Take care. Thanks all.